Alrighty, we should actually be live now. Everything should be working, hopefully. In a perfect world. Right? That's where things should be. Let me go ahead and make sure that everything is set up correctly so that I can actually be here and be on screen and all that other fun stuff. How's it going, everyone? I know I had to push things back just a few minutes. Had a bunch of stuff going on, mainly having to do with bodily functions, but I don't want to get into that. So, how's everybody doing? What's everyone drinking? Is everybody playing any video games right now? Or are you just hoping that I will be enough entertainment for you today? Because if that's the case, I hate to be very disappointing. But you blew up on Twitter with the weirdest tweet? Neat. Why does QAnon need a shaman? Good question. You're on WoW coping with LFR. LFR is a coping mechanism. I, too, cope by imagining that I'm playing a real raid. Can't video game with this wreck of a carcass I inhabit. I'm sorry about that, Sable Eagle. JR says, Sirs, I don't have anything. I would grind levels in Dokkan, but I ran out of stamina and waiting for 6... Oh, do you play Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle? Joe Biden and Sirs, both tired of this BS. Yeah. So I hope to hear more about what this whole QAnon is about. So if you want to hear what more about what QAnon is about, there's a couple of Hammered Out episodes where we get into it actually with Dan, Objectively Dan. So if you want a briefer on QAnon, this isn't the episode for it. There's another episode about it that you should probably check out. Hi, sirs. What's on fire today? Well, the country. Aries says the Chad 11-hour Sura stream versus the Virgin 3-hour Voss stream. Okay, look, you say 11-hour, but might I introduce you, potentially, to the actual length of that stream? Not 11 hours. Oh, no, 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 no. Something much, much darker. Allow me to show you how long that stream actually was. Here. This is the actual length from that stream. This is how long it was. Just take it in. Just take that in, Aries. That 3 hours you gave to Vosh for his stream is the difference in time between what my stream actually was and the time you said it was. Like, look at that shit. Why? And technically, right, if I want to pull it up not in screenshot form so that it's not, like, edited or anything, it's here. Of course, here we can actually see that I made just over minimum wage! Yay! That's before YouTube takes its cut. But anyway, so that's twice as long as my Molten Core raid used to last, and that thing was a death march. Yeah, so realistically, had I stayed on for another 10 hours, which I wouldn't have. I had therapy the next day. Absolutely fucking not. But if I had done that, then I might have actually crossed the realm of having my first 24-hour stream, which I would like to have a 24-hour stream soon. That's something that I would like to do. But did Caitlin Bennett say anything about the Capitol attack yet? Yes! Actually, here. Hold on, I gotta retweet my friend's thing real quick, and then I'm gonna find Liberty Hangout. So, Rational Disconnect has a wonderful set of these right now. I think we'll start with that. Today, I do think I want to start with that. Okay, I know you guys in the chat are giving me the oh no's, the oh no, we don't want to do this. But you know what? Honestly, I would like to talk about Caitlin Bennett. Okay, because there's been stuff before about how Caitlin Bennett is a bit of a Nazi, is pro monarchy and all this other fun stuff, and it's. For a while, it was like musings, right? This is the thing we get with Richard Spencer. This is the thing we get with Caitlin Bennett now, where they say one thing and then they end up meaning something completely different. So, with Richard Spencer, you get, we are pro-freedom of speech, and then when you talk to them in back doors, they're not pro-freedom of speech, but by being pro-freedom of speech, they get to push their anti-freedom of speech agenda much more easier, and then people who otherwise wouldn't ally with them end up doing so. So, if we look... there's my issue. I see why all of my videos have had weird audio balancing issues. It makes sense now. There we go. Things should be better now. I just dropped the volume down. But anyway, Caitlin Bennett does the same thing, where she and her co-host run the Liberty Hangout podcast, and they run the Liberty Hangout Twitter as a result. Now... The memes about January 6th had been going on for quite some time. I know I'm very quiet now. Alexandra, but it's because I've noticed that in other videos, my audio peaks really high, and then the audio of whatever I'm responding to ends up being really, really low, and I have the audio of whatever I'm listening to maxed out. So I have to have it this low for now, because if I don't, then the end result is going to be that there's going to be an unwatchable video later. Here, I can maybe do this, and this will make it a little better. There we go. Anywho, back onto the topic at hand, outside of the topic of audio balancing issues. Let's go ahead and look at what kind of meltdown was happening with Caitlin Bennett over the course of all of this madness. Because we've got plenty of issues to have with Caitlin Bennett, right? She's anti-LGBTQ, decently... problematic, not assaults people, but gets on campus and hits people with gotcha questions that she's definitely prepared to have counter examples for, but usually the random people she grabs on campus aren't, and then this allows her to have these gotcha moments that she puts all over her YouTube channel. So, apologies in advance for what I'm about to show you, and also apologies for the awkward audio in this particular episode as we get things settled out. But, and I did not screenshot these. These have been screenshotted by by Rational Disconnect and other lefties on Twitter. From Liberty Hangout. Remember, also, this extends ostensibly, is going to be Caitlin and her podcast partner type deal, saying things like, I want Donald Trump to declare himself a king. Today, democracy has failed us. Now, can I just say that what we have right now isn't a failure of democracy? What we have... Well, actually, no, it is a bit of a failure of democracy. Let me refrain. The voting and the way that it's happening right now is not a failure of democracy. This is a demonstration of the efficacies of democracy. However, the fact that we were able to get Donald Trump in the first place is a failure of democracy. So, this is one of those things where, like, yeah, you're technically right, but you're thinking the failure of democracy is that your favorite orange Cheeto is getting unseated out of power. My reason that I think there's a failure of democracy is that he was even able to get power to begin with. But aside from... Let me go ahead and point out, just, they're called Liberty Hangout, and yet they want to be a monarchy. They want Trump to be king. We have been posting positively about monarchy for nearly 6 years now, and everyone thought we were crazy for it. Look at what's happening to our country.
Still think making Trump our king is a bad idea? What the hell do we have left to lose?
So, can I just say that Trump was the person who incited the violence in the Capitol. He is the reason it was there, and it was his ineptitude at how to respond to that led to that violence escalating in the way that it did. You don't look at a bunch of people who are engaged in violent actions right now and go, "You're all so special. You're all so special." You don't do that. That's not how this works. I know that Caitlin Bennett's also posted on her Twitter, and I will find it, but there's a very particular post that I want to get because it exemplifies this problem so much. Let's see here. Where are you, Caitlin? Where are you? I just want the person. This is one of the few times where I think I can ever honestly say that I want to find Caitlin Bennett in any way, shape, or form. Am I just misspelling it? That could be it. That could be it. How do I spell your name, Nazi child? There we go. There we go. We found it.
Trump is my president.
Okay, so fucking
my message to real Donald Trump is simple. It's time to defund public universities. Not another penny in taxes should go to these left-wing indoctrination centers.
I go ahead and say that it's honestly really poetic that right-wingers like Caitlin are so desperate to defund education because they want everybody to be as fucking dumb as them. They want everybody to be as stupid as they are. And it's saddening because we will never get to the point where I say we'll never get to the point where the population en masse is as stupid as Caitlin, but 74 million people voted for Donald Trump. So I guess I can't say it and not be lying. Where is... there's supposed to be a post in here. Unless she deleted it. Ah, here we go. Found it. Caitlin Bennett here with the...
And I must say tonight that a riot is the language of the unheard. And what is it that America has failed to hear? It has failed to hear the promises of freedom and justice that have not been met.
So, if you want freedom and justice, the last thing you want is a monarchy, okay? You want totalitarian control. You want an authoritarian dictatorship. You do not want freedom. Now, can I go ahead and say to people like Caitlin, who are so nightmarishly dumb, absolutely butt-fuckingly stupid, so as to think that what happened in the Capitol last night and what happens at your standard BLM protest, or even back during Martin Luther King's protests, is the same thing. It's very simple. It's very simple. If a riot is the voice of the unheard, then we have to necessarily ask, what is not being heard? What is the message that these people are not getting across? For BLM, the message is, please stop shooting us. Please, let us go through the justice system fairly with everyone else. They respond when violence is enacted to exterior violence on the whole, and the data supports that. What is being said here? What is the unheard voice that Caitlin Bennett is so quick to point out here? The unheard message is that their favorite child is not able to sit in his favorite chair in the Oval Office. He doesn't get his favorite wooden desk. He doesn't get to deliberate whether or not he wants to sleep in the White House that day or sleep in Trump Tower. No. That's what they're upset about. They're upset that they can't have their person. This is a person who is going on and on about the fact that Trump is her king. And if you wanted evidence that it wasn't about freedom, let's continue what is being said on the Liberty Hangout account, which again is co-owned by Caitlin.
My allegiance isn't to democracy. My allegiance isn't to the Constitution. My allegiance is to Donald J. Trump.
Now, note that all these are being posted during the Boogaloo at the Capitol. Your allegiance isn't to the people. Your allegiance isn't to your country. Your allegiance is to your favorite whining Cheeto. Your allegiance is to a single dipshit that you think loves you. The guy who, might I tell you, is not only a giant con artist, but threw all of you dipshits under the bus. Even Nazi Nicholas Fuentes understood this. Throughout all of this, of all people to jump off the Trump train, Nick Fuentes hopped off. Renita has it right in the chat. Caitlin's a simp. The next video I'm going to do is the issues with fucking radicalizing cult members. Oh, but it gets worse. Let's continue Liberty Hangout.
Today is the day the Democrats realize they lost. We, the people, will not accept a Joe Biden presidency. You have no power over us.
So, can I hate saying can I just say, because that's like the go-to response when it comes to looking at stuff like this. But their allegiance isn't to democracy, but then they go into this we the people shit. A democracy is supposed to be the government where the people have some form of representation in power. We are a republic, but we exercise representative democracy. We elect senators and representatives in the House that are supposed to represent us and our interests. If your allegiance isn't to democracy, then in our current state, and the way the nation is formulated right now, you're not for the people. You can pretend you are. You can cry and bitch and moan that you are. But you're not. And on her actual main account, it just keeps on getting more.
When your side spent half a year doing this to the country, you have no right to pretend to be outraged today.
Again, I hate to tell you over and over again, Caitlin. 97% of the time, and I'm using that number because that is the number that is specifically, like, that actually is supported by the data. 97% of the time, this is not what happens. Also, you are the person who tries to go with the riots of the language of the unheard. But you even included in the speech the part where it asks, what is it that's not being heard? There is a difference between responding to violence with violence versus responding to democracy with violence. At the end of the day, what's being protested by people who are invading the Capitol? What's being protested by the people invading the Capitol? It's not that violence is being enacted on them. It's not that things are notoriously unfair. No, they're protesting democracy. They are upset at democracy. At democracy doing what it does. And of course,
DC police murdered a veteran in cold blood today, but there won't be any vigils for her like George Floyd. She won't get a plaza dedicated to her. She won't even have her name mentioned on the House floor and given a moment of silence. Never forget what they did to Ashley Babbitt.
Now, I'm not going to go through the radicalization of Ashley Babbitt. I'm not. The information's out there. If you really want to see her nosedive down the radical Trump train, then that information's there. Okay? You can do that. But this is another example of Caitlin Bennett not understanding the context of a given situation. If a riot is the voice of the unheard, what are they not hearing? What are people not hearing? She doesn't get the context behind that. Or, more likely, because of the information that we have seen on Caitlin, is deliberately obfuscating the fact that she knows the difference here. Yes, DC police did in fact murder a veteran. But it wasn't in cold blood. No. The woman who got shot was actively sieging a Capitol building, forced the Senate and the House to evacuate during a peaceful transference of power. That is not in cold blood. George Floyd is in cold blood. All he was guilty with at that time was, at best, potentially having a substance on him and having a dollar bill. The thing he got called for was a dollar bill. Growlithe is obviously not happy. Growlithe, come here. Come on, girl. Whereas, when you're actively sieging a capital and then suddenly upset that you got shot, or that somebody got shot, there is a difference here. Yes, there's a conversation to be had about whether or not the state should be allowed to enact violence on its people, but there is another equally valid conversation to be had about whether or not you should siege the Capitol during a democratic transference of power to protest democracy, to protest we the people, to protest the foundations on which America is supposed to be built. Caitlin's lost the plot. Though I'm fairly certain that she didn't have the plot to begin with. But it gets better. It gets better. There's more shit in here.
We are calling on Governor DeSantis to begin drafting articles of secession to declare Florida a free and independent nation. We need a new country that will be safe from democratic tyranny.
Does this idiot not realize? The last time a secession was happening, it failed miserably. Go ahead. Have Governor DeSantis attempt to draft those articles. Go right ahead. See what happens. These people want to claim that they're patriots. These people want to claim that they're for the ideals of America, but the minute that their favorite asshole isn't in office, suddenly it's, please give me my safe space in Florida. No. Seriously. The snowflakes are bad, but I really need my safe space in Florida. Please. Florida specifically. I wonder if people like Caitlin have ever looked in a mirror, honestly looked in a mirror, and tried to figure out who they are. The fact of the matter is, the only reason that I even have to say something like that is because the principles that they try to advocate for on the surface, liberty, are so juxtaposed to the principles they actually advocate for, totalitarianism, monarchy, fascism. I am convinced that people like Caitlin know what they're doing. But they have to deliberately obfuscate, just like Richard Spencer has to, so that they can do this, because people would not take their pro-monarchy message by itself. Though there are some idiots who have. I've had arguments with pro-monarchy idiots. But at the end of the day, what we have here is an example of a sad, sad human being who is so upset that she lost, that she doesn't get to sit there and stand her wannabe fascist any longer. And the poetic part is she got thrown under the bus. Because today, Donald Trump threw all of them under the bus in his apology speech where he noted that he was going to have a peaceful transference of power. Now, it's a bit late for that. I'd say that that doesn't absolve Trump of anything. It is far too little too late. after you steal the cookie from the cookie jar, you can't just vomit it back up and say it's okay, you can have it back. It's a bit late for that. But I think we can end this with a quick note. Can we get Fs in the chat for Caitlin Bennett? Because reality has owned her so hard. There is no amount of burning, of owning, of insulting that I can do right now that equates what reality has already dealt her. The hand that circumstance, and dare I say, something that she thinks was in her power this whole time, destiny, has dealt her. F's in the chat for Caitlin Bennett. This sorry sack of shit of a human being. If you haven't already hit the like button, please go ahead and do so. If you haven't subscribed, maybe now would be a great time to do so. If you would like to support me on Patreon, now is a time where I am obligated by the YouTube gods to go ahead and let you know, since we don't get paid enough on YouTube to begin with. And if you are watching this live, go ahead and check the description. There's a link to the Streamlabs donation button in there if you would like to donate to the stream as we are live right now. If you don't want to donate, that's perfectly fine. Don't do it if you are not able to. But I will be reading Super Chats after this, and I will be reading donations after this. So if you want to do so, please and thank you. Again, I'd like to say go ahead and subscribe, share with your friends if you want to. And with all that said, let's go ahead and end this sorry display. Ghoster Coaster, I'm not gone. I'm not leaving. That's focusing. Like, I'm not leaving. Okay, you're leaving. Okay, that's cool. See you, Ghoster. I just have to have that that outro thing whenever I'm ending, because I've not been putting outros at the ends of my videos, and subscribers have been going down and all that other fun stuff. I need to actually get better at making sure that there's call to actions in my videos so that the channel can grow, so that I can continue doing this without freaking out about finances and all that other fun shit. Was that Xander Hall's advice? Yes, it was. That was exactly Xander Hall's advice when we spoke about this a few days ago. So what is the context of the whole conversation? It's the first 20 minutes. So basically, Keelan, Caitlin Bennett, also known as Fascist Poop Pants, is simping very hard for Donald Trump and is whining, crying, and whinging that their attempted coup failed. Pika said, I just realized we've had some form of drama in the community almost every day this week. Go figure.
It's always Antifa's fault. Screw those liberal Antifas! I remember the last time Antifa did anything of note, and it was bad then too. They took my favorite Hitler out of power. Those goddamn Antifas. Every one of them. Burn them with fire!
Did you see Tim Pool cooming his pants over the attack? Yeah, he was literally sitting there going, oh my god, guys. Oh my god, the Civil War is happening. Guess what, guys? The Civil War is happening. Civil War 3, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, that was my Tim Pool impression. I'm sorry. If this was his version of a Civil War, it is the most sad and pathetic display I've ever seen. Fascist Poop Pants is Caitlin Bennett. We do have a set of super chats to go through real quick. From Caitlin, I'm trying to make sure I say this correctly. Skaflested. Skaflestad? I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please let me know. Has super chatted $2. Thank you very much for the $2. I hate that we have the same name. I feel ya. D has super chatted $5. The mindset of America as a whole needs to change because unfortunately conspiracy theory acceptance runs deep in this country. It does. It is fucking awful. Thank you both for the super chat, and I do not want to sit here and try to encourage more super chats to come in because that would be... It feels bad. Maybe I need to get out of the habit of that. Maybe I need to get out of the habit of feeling bad when I point out that like super chats are great for me. But I don't know. Either way, we have 211 or 210 concurrent viewers right now. So I want to say hi to all of you, everybody who's popped into the chat, everybody who is checking out the stream. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. I asked this at the beginning of the stream, but I'll ask it right now. What are you guys drinking and what are you guys playing? I'd imagine some of you are playing some video games while watching. I'm not terribly entertaining on my own, so you've got to supplement it somehow, I know. As for me, I am drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. If you are new to the chat, though, if you have never hopped into the live chat before, then go ahead and let me know in the live chat now. Say hi. If, though, you are uncomfortable with doing so, if you don't want to out yourself as a newbie, that's also perfectly fine. Do you? Don't make yourself terribly uncomfortable. Wellbird says tin can. Now, are you eating a tin can or are you playing a tin can? Yokobo says playing Disgaea 4 on Switch. Nice. I've only ever played the first Disgaea game. And I played it on the Nintendo DS ages ago. I made the mistake of getting into Item World and then I just didn't complete the game. Early access game Tin Can, you just get thrown into a falling space escape pod. Perfect. Gabu's playing Heretic, Shadow of Serpent Riders, some old Doom clone. I should drink something, to be honest. Yeah, hydrate. Hydration's good. Get stuff. Here, you can hear the clinkling. It'll be mason jar ASMR. Hey, Diet Dr. Pepper, love you. Hey, Diet Dr. Pepper's great. I love it. Devin says, still drinking water currently works, so not playing, but will be playing Roblox later. Cool. So, DXS for all says, I've never been able to catch a live stream before. Well, awesome, DXS. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully you're having a wonderful time. Can we get an H in the chat for DXS for his first, or their first? I do not know your gender, and I apologize if I misgendered. But their first live stream, they've been able to hop in. If I can get an H in the chat for them. And while we do that, Carrie Mooney has given a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Don't feel bad because you're cheering me up. Also drinking Pepsi. I don't feel great about that. No, we can't. No. Pepsi stands, get out. Get out. That acidic sugar water needs to just leave this chat completely. Why is... My chat is weird. So, okay, check this out. My chat was way behind, and I did not see any of the H's coming through. I saw them on my stream, but I did not see them in the chat. I feel like my YouTube Studio chat needs to be refreshed. Give me a second. Let's restore that chat. Let's fix that. It's broken as hell. The live chat is broken, and it's not even White Nervosa's fault. It's just YouTube. I'm kidding. Let's see if we can get YouTube actually... Okay, so here, let me show you what I see right now. I'm sitting here staring at this lovely blank screen. Ah, there we go. There we go. Says it's 3 minutes behind. Let's take this back to live chat so I can actually see. Please let me see. Why is it breaking? Why is YouTube chat breaking? I just want it to work. I just want it to work. Chat has been locking up since the last update. Am I gonna have to pay attention to the chat from Streamlabs? Am I going to have to stare? Here, it's gonna be some streamception. Am I gonna have to watch my stream chat like this? YouTube, come on! No, the chat... Look, I have a decent PC, and my chat is just breaking. We're all pouring our hearts, and Sirius is ignoring us. I'm not ignoring you. Aries says, website when? I'm actually in talks with White Nervosa right now. I've actually already bought... the website domain, but I will be having a website soonish. I'm waiting on an ETA from White Nervosa, but I am not the priority on the list right now. Denims is getting a website, if you guys remember Denims from when we've done the Among Us streams. Denims is getting a website right now, but after Denims gets a website, I believe I'm next on that list. So I am getting a website for anybody in the chat. Like, I'm getting two things. Not only am I getting my website, but I am also getting a VTuber avatar, because I know that there are people who really enjoyed having the avatar videos, and I feel like doing a VTuber thing would probably be a good middle ground between, hey, I have to live stream, this is the only way that I can make enough revenue to actually survive, especially with all the house repairs we have to do constantly now, and on top of that, be able to give people the types of videos that they want. Yeah, they're still going to be unscripted live streams. They're not going to be as constrained down as the standard ones, but at least the aesthetics will be closer to what people have liked before. Can we get a Legasp for the websites? Yeah, totally. Let's get a Legasp for the website. I'll show you guys the website itself. Let me go ahead and see here. This is the next topic. But the website is surus.cc. If you guys want to go ahead and bookmark this for when it goes live, here you go. Go ahead and bookmark that website for when we go live on it. But that's going to be later. That's going to be at a later date. Not right now. We are working on it. Give it a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of time. We have to, like I said, we have to wait for Denims to get their website made first. And okay, so I'm seeing Surus plays Toon Surus in the chat. I am 90% certain that I am still seeing everything super late. You're going to go check out No BS is coping. If No BS is having a massive copium heart attack, send me the video. Send me the video. But yeah. I'm not getting a .gg like Vosh because that costs way too much money. I don't have Vosh money, but I am getting a .cc for me. If you got hold on, guys, in the chat, before I get into the next topic, do you guys want to see the work in progress for the avatar for the VTubing? A .cc, it's just a domain name, like a .com and a .org and a .net. It's just a domain name. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. If you guys want to see the avatar, give me an H in the chat. If you want to be surprised, give me a G. I want to take a very rough and loose poll of where we're at on that. And if we have more H's than G's, then I will go ahead and see. See, we got H, 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 H. We got 2 G's, 3 G, 4 G's. Oh no, guys, we have to put on our tinfoil hats. I saw 5 G's. 5G. The 5G is gonna stop everybody from turning into gay neckos. Okay, so it's mostly H's. It's mostly H's. So let's go ahead and grab the work in progress. Remember, it is still a work in progress. And also, I want everybody to remember, when it comes to fan art, when fan art comes in, what are the 2 most likely things that you will see in fan art? outside of standard Surus fan art? Does anybody know them? There's two things. And I think everybody probably already knows what they are. One is a rule. Well, porn is close. Porn is close. Keelan says Neko and Fem. Monster says Rule 63 and Neko. Squiffer says Neko and Fem. Serena says boobies. Okay, so you're all right. And as a result, because you're right, because you are all correct, here's the work in progress. If everyone is going to have... If everybody is going to do this kind of fan art, then fuck it. We may as well do it. We may as well do it. But what if I want to become a gay Neko? We'll be a gay Neko. Is the avatar itself going to be ecchi or giggly, though? It depends on the rigger. So that's the thing. I do not... I can show you examples of how this person rigs their avatars when they're made, and this might give you an idea. So here. The person who I'm paying to do this is both the rigger and the creator. And also, this is just a first draft. I may end up doing more different types of avatars. Because there are a couple of, there are artists who I would prefer to commission for stuff like this. They know who they are. So, this is an example of some of the work that this person has done, so you can have an idea of what kind of rigging to expect here. Based on this, I'd imagine it's probably going to be more giggly. So we're going to see Rule 63 Neko Surus with, all the standard stuff, but it also looks like it's going to be more, it's also definitely going to be more giggly in the end result. That's what seems to be the case for me. Surus has taken one step closer towards transitioning. Oh my god. Okay, now maybe let's tone down the I would fuck your cartoon avatar conversation. Great, now we all have fictional cancer. Hearing your voice out of that is going to be a thing. It will be. But here's the thing. And just so everybody knows, one of the main reasons I want to do this is because when I tackle people like Call for an Uprising, when I tackle characters and specimens of that particular variety, I want them to be uncomfortable. Can you imagine one of them, like a Call for an Uprising fan, watching that and just being so confused? Issa, so let me clarify what's going on with the Patreon. So the Patreon is supposed to be set per video, but the Patreon videos that go out are not the videos that go out on the channel anymore. It used to be the case that early access videos would go out on Patreon, but because we've moved to the live stream format, I have not updated the Patreon to reflect that as well as I could yet. So right now, what the Patreon is if you sign up on Patreon, you get behind the scenes looks on things. So like all the pictures of the kitchen you guys have seen, as that stuff has improved, the people on Patreon have been able to get videos of it. They've been able to get like live updates on how things are happening, me showing like the materials and everything being used to build everything, like going into the plans of how things are going. They also get to see like what new videos are going to be coming out, what topics are going to be covered. They get like Patreon access is basically behind the scenes stuff. If you want to see what's going on behind the camera, what's going on when I'm not on stream, and a less prepared, more I guess the best word would be like more humanized version, where I'm less topical and I'm more off the cuff. That is what you get on Patreon. So when it says per video, what that is that you get 4, or normally it's supposed to be 4 videos, but then of course it turned into 5 because when we started paying for health insurance, that was another $500 bill that we could not afford between me and Raz for health insurance. So I went on to Patreon and said, hey, if you don't want to be a patron anymore, that's fine, but I'm going to have to do a 5th charge during any month just to pay medical expenses. So that charge is happening then. So the way it's supposed to be right now is that there's 4 videos of what's behind the scenes, one released about every week. The next one going up should be literally in the next 2 days. And then the last video is supposed to be a tape of challenge video. The first challenge video was a hot sauce challenge. I had a hot sauce challenge that went all the way from jalapeno up to ghost pepper. And then a special extra pepper came in at the last second that Raz forced me to eat as well. And the challenge did not include me drinking a lot of milk the same way that I would have liked to normally. I think I ended up downing all the milk that I had. I should have had ice cream for it, but yeah. First challenge was the hot sauce challenge. The second challenge, because of Jack, the second challenge became eat pizza and calm the fuck down and rest. So I ended up not filming that one and ended up doing something different for the 5th video because I couldn't do that challenge and also record the video by working. So I had to just not. Neko says, have you ever watched the Hot Ones? Yes, I have. I have seen Hot Ones. Can we have another Drive Your Vanity to Your Heart? So here's the thing. Once I have the VTuber avatar, I will be more comfortable doing singing bits for you guys as you want and need. If you were offered a chance to appear on Hot Ones, would you? Yes! Absolutely! I love hot sauce and I love conversation. Wait, so with the rigging, what does Giggly versus... So, Giggly... is if the avatar is going to be more like kawaii, more cutesy, and the other one that was used was not sketchy. The other one that was used was more ecchi, not sketchy. And ecchi is it going to be a more like lewd avatar? Is there going to be like big bouncing boobs? Is this going to be like borderline softcore type of deal? I would rather it be a little more giggly and a little less that. But yeah, no, it's sketchy, not ecchi. Yeah, it's ecchi. So here, I'll spell it for you. It's that. And to give you, oh wow, I can't show any of that on stream. I actually know what that's from. I can't show that either. I can't show any of this on stream. Safe search. I need to turn safe search on. Holy shit. There we go. Why is this showing up when I click ecchi? Okay, so I typed in ecchi to get examples for you guys, but instead I got fucking Uno. This is not ecchi. This is yandere. This is something completely different. This is scary. For anybody who knows who this character is, this is not ecchi. This is terrifying. Yeah, we're not doing that. Like, don't get me wrong, we stan Yuno in this chat, but holy shit, would you never want to meet her? Yandere do not ecchi make, correct. I'm sure you could find a yandere ecchi, but truthfully speaking, generally, no. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm done doing that argument. Can everybody remind me not to have arguments with vegans? Please? That'd be great. Congratulations, you have a moral superiority complex. I don't give a fuck. Tsundere can be ecchi. Yandere is a bit harder. Alright. Let's move into the next topic itself. One thousand, your second is over. Oh dear. So, how many people have seen the conspiracies about Antifa has infiltrated the Capitol? It was not good Trump-supporting conservatives that actually instigated the violence. Oh no. The breach was an Antifa. Antifa did it. BLM did it. How many of you have seen these conspiracies so far? Okay. Here, I'll give you an example of one of them. And it's right here. So this is a post. I do not know who this person is, but it was reposted by one of my family members, and this is the saddening part. Not patriots, Antifa. By taking these pictures of these people, which just look like generic bearded white men, juxtaposing it to these pictures here, and showing that the Google image search found them at phillyantifa.org. Also, thank you very much for sponsoring the channel, Issa B. But this was floating around, and of course they're right next to this guy, who we're going to get into in a second. But this guy is the QAnon Shaman. So, before we get into these two here, these two specimens, let's go ahead and grab this guy, QAnon Shaman. And I'm not going to be doing the debunk here. No. I have a special guest doing the debunk here. But by special guest, I mean somebody who's already done the debunk. And I'm just going to be giving you the little bit of investigation journalism that we already found from him. So this is from my friend, Wolf the Red. Now, for those of you who don't know Wolf, he's a friend of mine in Oceans. And he's a good guy. And if there's one thing he's really good at, it's doing these long investigative journalist posts on Twitter debunking shit like this. We haven't done a good old school debunk for a while, but it's not going to be me doing it. It's going to be Wolf. So let's go ahead and relay. I've already gotten his permission. So let's go ahead and relay all this stuff from Wolf. Well, it's time to talk about this fool, I suppose. Trump-supporting QAnon fanatic Jake and Jelly was one of those domestic terrorists who stormed the Capitol on Wednesday. He was on my radar because of the Norse imagery poorly tattooed on him, but he's really a Christian. You read that right. Dude's a Yahweh-fearing man who loves to share boomer Christian memes. Not something Norse heathens tend to do, and not something that you usually see from your average everyday Antifa. Our gods are Odin, Thor, Freya, Hel, Tyr, etc. Gods who are absolutely disgusted with the actions of Jake here. So let's go ahead and look at the images here. Some stuff that Jake has posted. You will receive blessing in the next 1 hour if you share and type amen. How many of you have seen this shit? This incredibly cringe, like, you know those posts where you have, it's like God and the devil talking, and God goes, my children will repost. Woo. And then you look, and it shows the devil, my children will ignore. Oh, whoa. How many of you have seen that shit? Like, honestly. It's... I don't want to sit here and just go, oh my god, the boomer is cringe. Because I know people who are legitimately baby boomers and are not like that. Who actually have working brain cells. But And I know eventually I'm gonna get ratioed by the younger generation too. It's a thing that's gonna happen. But what else do we have here? What other things do we have? Late in the midnight hour, God's going to turn it around. It's gonna work out in your favor if you claim this and say amen and share. And of course, Jake says amen and shares. If you can feel... God, that's gory! If you can feel the love of God throbbing in your heart, when you see this, type amen and share. And of course, we got the amen and share. They're all guilt shares. You're right. Avion, you are 100% right. These are all guilt shares. Hey, I didn't even realize this was here. I didn't know that this particular meme was here. I hadn't clicked on any of the images. Oh my god. Okay, so I don't know why I gave it as an example. Here it is. Satan. My children will ignore you. Jesus. My children will type amen and share. He literally types amen and share. It's all chain letters, yes. Continuing on with Wolf's little bit here. He's got a discount Viking he's just a discount Viking LARPer who was on record stating he dressed this way to stand out and get attention in crowds, no matter where he is. I promise you, he is eating this up. Now to move on to who he really is and who he supports. And then, of course, we have the steal his look meme. The great meme. This fool is deep in the QAnon cult. He shows up to Trump rallies and his very awful LARPing outfit and calls for schools to be open and shouts about how COVID-19 is a hoax. Clearly not the brightest crown in the box. I would say that he's not the sharpest tool in the tool shed, but I've been basically living out of Home Depot for the last few weeks. So maybe my analogies are colored by my trauma. I see also we have a $2 super chat from Wolf the Red with an hello. Wolf is in the chat. Can everybody give a hi to Wolf? We're literally piggybacking off of his work. So let's definitely give a hi to Wolf here. Okay. So,
QAnon Shaman Jake Angeli is back in the news. He was spotted in his protest costume after having broken into Capitol Hill today in Washington, D.C. I last spoke with him during his stakeout of the Maricopa Elections Office in Phoenix, Arizona on November 5th, 2020. Many people have read allegations that he's a member of Antifa or some sort of false flag operative. This is false. Jake is a longtime and ardent Donald Trump supporter, made on assignment for Bloomberg.
And then, of course, Q sent me! Q sent me! Q at a Trump, Jake and Jelly walked the lines of people in Veterans Memorial Coliseum, waiting to see Trump on February 20th. He brings this cringy-ass costume everywhere, but I can't talk because I would love to walk around in a Shaman outfit. So, or thrall ceremonial garb, whatever you want to call it. So maybe I should not be judging him too harshly solely on his looks, but his really bad tattoos, that's one thing. Continuing with Wolf the Red. Probably the biggest form of irony is that he has been seen many times over the summer and fall counter-protesting against BLM and calling them domestic terrorists, saying they should be arrested for being against police and other protest activities. And of course, we've got his sharing here. If you've done any of the following, attacked federal officers, tried to burn down a courthouse, threatened to shoot innocent people, mob cars and rip people from behind the wheel, burn down businesses, kill cops, loot stores, you're not a protester, you are a domestic terrorist and should be arrested. I love the cringy Turning Point USA memes because half that shit happened at the Capitol siege. We have a dead cop. Just, Asmodeus has it right in the chat, when you become more blunt than your hammer. Continuing on. If you needed any further proof that the weirdo isn't some left-wing agent, here he is with Rudy Giuliani, very happy to shake the snake's hand. Wish he had worn the makeup, though. So, here... This is one of those, like, Is this you moments? I'm sorry. I could not get within 10 feet of this idiot without spitting on his boots. But, you know, this guy has no problem with that. His Facebook was taken down before I could get some screenshots, but he is a self-proclaimed faith healer shaman and used a bunch of nonsense words that sounded more like New Age Christian than old school heathen. But hey, he only charges $33.33 an hour, so that's a steal.
I am an shamanic practitioner and energetic healer. I have been on the shamanic path for over a decade and have numerous different capabilities and gifts at my disposal. Most shamanic practitioners do, Jake and Jelly.
Punctuation. It's the difference between punctuation and capitalization. It's the difference between helping your Uncle Jack off a horse and your Uncle Jack off a horse.
All for the low, low price of $33.33 an hour.
To wrap this up, he's not a Norse pagan. He's not Antifa. He's not a Viking. He's an idiot who dresses up in weird clothes to get attention, and unfortunately, he has some very awful tattoos tied to my religion. I would be happy to scrape them off of him given the chance. And of course, we have this great image here. Sorry if that joke was a bit cheesy for all of you. One last bit. To all the patriots replying to this, still trying to say that he's left-wing and Antifa, despite all the evidence I just provided, here's his own Twitter, his own words. He's as far right as they come. And let's go ahead and take a look at this Twitter.
Spiritual and political consultant, shamanic practitioner, author, energetic healer, ordained minister, seeker of truth, and servant of God.
And of course his retweets. America First. Our lovely dog whistles. Breitbart News. Like, no. No. This is not your Antifa. I'm sorry. But there's more people! It's not just that! I didn't open with alpha male because alpha males don't open anything but their gaping assholes in prison. Sorry. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this. So, I pointed out these dudes here, right? Let's go ahead and do a quick fact check on that. Or rather, look at a fact check here. Is the man photographed storming the United States Capitol in fur and horns an Antifa activist? Well, we already know that he's not. We already did that. So let's look at the other ones. From Reuters. Screenshots have been shared on social media that falsely claim and show proof that a man was photographed inside the Capitol building following a pro-Trump rally who is part of Antifa. Let's see here. Are the posts the same ones that I'm thinking of? From the Patriot Party. Are the ones that stormed the Capitol building members of BLM and Antifa? The Patriots are peaceful! This content isn't available right now. Oh! Hashtag stop the steal! Oh boy, those are my favorite factual websites to get information from. The Philly Antifa website does have a page featuring an image of a bearded man who shares certain characteristics with the person seen in the Capitol building. However, this page does not describe this man as an Antifa supporter. Instead, it says this image shows an individual belonging to an entirely different group that Philly Antifa opposes. Oh boy! Who would have thought? Who would have thought that by providing the link to the website that you're trying to use in your dumb shit conspiracy theory, you might actually get outed as a dumb shit conspiracy theorist? What a concept! Now, while they haven't identified specifically the person pictured in the Capitol building, a comparison of tattoos on the right hands of both people would indicate that they are not the same person. Compare the image from the Antifa site here with the AFP image here. Let's see. Yeah, no. Those are not the same tattoos. The tattoo where the hand is a completely different one. These are not the same people. You just grabbed generic frat boy bearded white man and tried to say they all looked the same. You racist motherfuckers. Reuters has already identified a man wearing a hat and fur horns, as well as painted face. He's the QAnon shaman. The image hosted in the Philly Antifa website does not prove that a man pictured inside the Capitol building was a member of Antifa. This article was produced by the Reuters fact-check team. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Point is, stop posting your cringe-ass, they weren't patriots, they were Antifa memes on Facebook. You dumb-ass people. I'm gonna be the super insulting person here. I'm gonna have to be. Because it's not difficult. It's not difficult to take an image and do a reverse image search and then see if there might be some news articles covering that. It's not hard to do a reverse image search. And when you do, you will find the fact-check websites that have already been doing this shit because it's their job. But you decided, whoever you may be, reposting this, redoing this, retweeting this, that you would rather go for something convenient but wrong versus something that requires you to take some time but leads you to be correct. At the end of the day, this is what skepticism is for. This is what being a skeptic is about. It's about not falling for this conspiratorial bullshit, because the first thing a skeptic should ask in any situation is, why is that the case? Why is that true? How is that true? Or even, is that true? Please, do not fall for bullshit. Please don't. It takes some time. It really does. To figure out if something is true or not. But it is so much more worth it. Because you'll have that truth in your back pocket every time. Whenever you need it. But when you go for the easy route, when you ignore that, we'll just call it journalistic integrity, you just make a fool of yourself. And you end up hurting other people, because this type of misinformation is the type of stuff that led to the Capitol being sieged in the first place. With that said, if you haven't hit the like button already, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so. If you are watching this video and this is the first time on the channel, then hi, how's it going? Let me know in the comment section below. If you are watching on stream, well, I've already said hello to you. Hi. But that said, please go ahead and check the description below. You'll find links to my Patreon and everything there if you want to support the channel and what I do. I generally try to stream at 1 p.m. Most days of the week, 1 p.m. Eastern, that is. So if you want to come out and hang out then, that is the best time to do so. If you would like to super chat or donate or do anything, I do read those in between covering different topics on the videos. So if you want to do that, then I welcome it. I like being able to eat food. Being able to survive in America.net is great. So that all said, thank you all for watching, and we're going to move on to the next thing. I'm trying to have a great day. How's it going, Natariku? I'm not leaving, though. I'm not gone. Devin Ray says I didn't get to hear my name. Well, I'm sorry. Does that help? Did I miss it? Love you, sirs. Well, thank you very much, Jen. And no, you didn't miss it. I'm still going for a little bit longer. I've got at least one more topic I want to cover. Though after that, like, I've probably got maybe 30 more minutes on stream or so. No, the stream's not ending yet. I just have to, whenever I'm streaming, I do have to cut these up into videos when I'm done so that they can go up as videos. So if I don't put an actual, like, functional outro at the end, then I'm losing the ability to gain subscribers. I'm losing the ability to get people on Patreon. I'm losing the ability to support myself in the... It's this weird, like, double standard where I have to make the videos in such a way that I can support myself, But I also have to make them in such a volume through live streaming that I can support myself. And if I'm not doing this one over here, then it doesn't matter that I'm doing the videos in a great volume and live streaming. It just doesn't work. You sincerely wanted to help with the kitchen repairs and HVAC. Well, the good news is HVAC stuff is taken care of, and the kitchen is almost done. We got a tile, and then we're done. So did we cover the QAnon Shaman? We already covered the QAnon Shaman with the help of both Reuters, the fact check website, and also Wolf, because Wolf did the largest amount of gathering information for that. Keep me company while I attempt this 100% completion. What are you trying to 100% complete? Like, what game are you doing? He's live streaming, but putting in cutting points to make 2-4. Yeah, that's what's going on, Asmodeus. Because, like, I don't want to just grab snippets of the stream. I want them to still be full topics. I want them to be complete videos the same way as if I made the videos just in edited form on my end. Jesus. Jesus. We've just got the I'm tired part left. Yeah. We do just have the I'm tired part. I'm trying to 100% a Sir's live stream, but it takes 14 to 15 hours. Oh my god. I'm screenshotting that. That's the kind of thing that you freaking frame. Zonic says, thank you for not insulting pagans when covering us refuting that QAnon Shaman is LARPing as a pagan. Of course I'm not going to insult you. I don't have a problem with pagans. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat, though. I do greatly appreciate it. But no, I generally don't try to insult pagans because I try not to insult religion on the whole. Now, there are certain beliefs that I have issues with, like if faith healing I have an issue with. I have an issue with science denial just in general. I have an issue with young earth creationism. So there's aspects of certain belief systems that I will attack. But I will not attack just simply a belief system. People have their reasons for believing what they do. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Yeah, Callan runs around as pagan mod. Or I think about half the key mods are pagans. Yep. It's weird when, like, half the time I get along with pagans more often than I get along with atheists, and that's because, well, there's a lot of atheists who take it into, like, toxic anti-theism territory, and I'd rather not be in that territory. Fuck Focus. Yep. Fuck Focus. Did I see the coordinating response to the riots? No. So you're not an anti-theist? Good. So let me clarify. I do consider myself an anti-theist insofar as the majority world religions are the big three, and I do see a lot of harmful practices from them. So in practice, I end up being very anti-theistic. So I don't have a problem calling myself an anti-theist. But it generally ends up manifesting as anti-harm more than anything. But I don't have a good word for anti-harm where religion is concerned that isn't just encompassed by anti-theist. Aries the Parakeet says, what is any focused? A focused is basically a pagan who believes that their ability to worship is tied to their blood, meaning that certain people of certain bloodlines are naturally genetically superior to others because of the gods they can and can't serve, and it basically makes them white supremacists, but religious white supremacists with white supremacy tied to religion. Patrick, your big three are Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. And Judaism isn't as harmful. It's also not as large. But generally speaking, your big three are... Their issues are that they're Abrahamic. And the Abrahamic God, in my estimation, is kind of an asshole and kind of a dick. And a lot of people, like, take Ben Shapiro. The reason he's a homophobe, he ties to the fact that his God says that homosexuality is bad. Like, that's why I have an issue. I'm just like, okay, look, if you're gonna hide behind your religion as a reason to hate a certain minority group of people, then maybe stop being a coward. Said I'd like to be an epistivist, but I'm sure I have some beliefs that I haven't examined yet. I think that the issue with epistivism, generally speaking, is that it is impossible to take a microscope to every belief you ever have, period. Like, epistivism seems to be more of a standard to aspire to and less something you can actually claim for yourself. The moment you try to shove your religion down your throat is the moment I have a problem with you. Yep. Tatted Cheddar, I have not seen Tatted in the chat in ages. How are you doing, Tatted? It has been quite the amount of time before we've seen you in here. Realox says I'm a devout poly waifuist. Perfect. Eating shellfish is a sin of the Bible, but I bet Ben is still eating shrimp. So, Fem, it's actually not. If I were to be the person who is friends with biblical scholars for a second, the eating shellfish thing in the Bible, the reason that actually is allowed now is because during the context in which, and this is both from Judaism and also from Christianity. If you look at the context in which and the time that was written, shellfish was not safe to eat. There was actually, if memory serves, there was actually some type of infection that was being gotten from shellfish specifically. And it was easier to communicate to people by saying that this was a religious command, not to eat shellfish. And that was your reason not to do so. Just like in Leviticus, one of the reasons that that Leviticus ended up being as homophobic as it is, as a book, is because they had a population issue. And if you were not actively breeding for the population, then you weren't doing part of your job religiously, literally. And that was the context for why they did that. So a lot of those things, if you're actually reading the Bible and trying to contextualize things for the time that they were written, a lot of those things basically just end up dropping off. They're religious decrees at the time that they're written because that was the easiest way to communicate to people at that time. Just say it's a religious decree, and then everybody has to follow it. Nobody gets sick, nobody dies. But yeah, no. A lot of, like Philip said in the chat, a lot of those traditions are very, they're based on the specific circumstances for the culture. Now, to say that a Christian has to hold to those things is an appeal to tradition. It's a bit of a fallacy. And I'm not saying that to be like an asshole. I just know that that's one of the ones that, like, I've had those conversations with Christian friends of mine. I have them with family who are actually in the scholarly fields where this is concerned. So I try not to use those owns and those gotchas anymore because I know the reasons why they're used to begin with. Don't bling it up. What do you think you are, a priest? Yeah. Context is key. So, like, you can easily, like, there's lots of reasons to knock Christianity easily. And if you've got a fundamentalist Christian who tries to hold to those old laws, then yeah, knock them around a few pegs. Easy. But the way to knock them around isn't to say you're being a hypocrite. The way to knock them around is say, hey, those things were important during the context of the time that they were written. They don't matter as much now. Why the fuck are you following them? Tatajetty with the $5. House is looking good, buddy. Ben slammed. Love your face. Hot dogs are sandwiches. Yes, they are. Hot dogs are indeed sandwiches. Sandwich absurdism is great. Can I get an H in the chat for sandwich absurdism? And yeah, Daniel has the point in there as well. It was the same thing for pork. Improperly cooked pork, if you did not have a way to verify that it was cooked all the way through, could cause infections. There were parasites that live in pork that you have to cook out. Hot dogs are sandwiches and also tacos. Morgan says, I have to go to class, but I'll pop back in the stream if it's still going when I'm released from the virtual lab. I will probably be done by then, Morgan, so apologies for that. But we do have one more topic to cover before the stream is over. And that is that, honestly, guys, I'm tired. I'm really tired. What I want to do, more than anything, is I want to go back to making standard atheist content, where I can just when I cover politics, it's because politics have intersected with somebody's religious beliefs in such a way that it is harmful. So, like Paul and Morgan. Why would I want to cover Paul and Morgan? Because their politics, things that make them homophobic, things that make them who they are, intersect and are influenced by their religion. That's the type of content I want to do. That's the stuff I want to cover, more than anything. That's the stuff that makes me super happy, because that's where philosophy, theology, and politics, they all intersect in this one little area, and it's great. I don't mind covering PragerU because they do the same thing. Everything intersects with them. And that's what I want to cover. That's the type of content I want to do. But unfortunately, the country's just been on fire. At the end of the day, it's been burning. And of course, this is in some cases literal and in some cases metaphorical, but do I want to sit here and cover everything Trump does? No, I don't. But dude keeps on doing dumb shit. Do I want to cover every single thing that goes on where, like, there's a debate in the election and all this other fun stuff? No, I don't. I don't. Politics is... I like politics more when I'm discussing things like theory. That stuff makes me happy more. Because then it's like discussing philosophy or theology. Political theory is more fun. It's more engaging to me than just sitting here trying to figure out what's in the 5,146-page pork fat bill that's going up to try to give people a measly $600 in crumbs. And I don't like it. I really don't. And I know you guys probably don't like it either. You guys are maybe not the biggest fans of me doing political content all the time. And I don't want to do political content all the time. I want to do my content again. The channel began as an atheist skeptic channel. I want to do more debunking. I want to do more atheist stuff. But this election cycle has been nuts. There's always something, someone, some crisis going on. And I'm tired. And now you guys are probably tired too. I want to say that things will calm down once the transfer of power happens. And then all I'll have to do is just look at certain policies that Biden goes into and just go, yep, don't like that. Or, yeah, that one's okay. That'd be great. That's what I'd love to do. But then I find myself covering the country being stormed in a 14.5-hour long stream, trying to just manage all of that. And I'm not even joking. For those who were not here for the event, for those who were not here in the stream when I pointed this out earlier, this was me trying to cover everything going on January 6th. 14 hours and 38 minutes. 3,116 hours of watch time from this. This one stream. There was as much watch time on this stream as my channel got in the first year? I want to say the first year that I had my channel. That's crazy. But when everything is blowing up, when you've got people literally sieging the Capitol, wearing buffalo outfits and screaming QAnon nonsense, what else am I supposed to do? And it's a weird feedback loop where, like, I've got to do the content Because if I'm not like if I'm gonna cover politics and I'm not being topical, then I'm kind of screwed. But I want there to be less random explosive shit happening so that I can cover the stuff I want to cover as well. I liked doing the thing about QAnon Shaman, because even though I was using Wolf's work, it felt good to sit down and just do a debunk. To just read off a friend's debunk, because that's the type of content that I began doing. And I want to do more of that. Just that. And my mental health is fine. My mental health is okay. That's fine. Don't worry about that for the people who are saying that in the chat. My mental health is fine. I'm drained, but I'm good. I am excited for 2021. I want to know from you guys what stuff you want to see debunked. I want to know if you guys want to see me do some Dangers of Woo. Because I can do Dangers of Woo with my current format. I just have to do a lot of pre-prep. I have to have all my sources available already. So I can't do that stuff on the fly. But if you guys have stuff like Dangers of Woo you want me to cover, because I'd like to cover more of it, throw it in the comment section. And we can actually do some live Dangers of Woo episodes where I've got all my sources just ready and usable and just throw them on screen and go, nope, here's why. Here's where we are. Here's how we got where we were. I want to do a debunk of the Rife machine. I think that's going to be the Dangers of Woo that I go into next. I think that's going to be the next thing that I do, is going to be a Rife machine video. If I can get H's in the chat for people who want to see me just dunk on the Rife machine. This machine that's supposed to cure you of literally any ailment you have with vibrations. That said, though, for me to do that, I do need some suggestions from you guys. I do have a list of people that I want to cover a little more. So let me go ahead and pull that up here. And if you guys have any videos from these people that you want me to cover, then the comment section is going to be a great place to send them to me. I do look at just about everything that goes in the comment section, even if I don't necessarily respond to all of them. So let me go ahead and check. So if you guys have anything that you want to cover from Caitlin Bennett, who we just covered recently, Greg Locke, Pastor Spencer Smith, Lauren Chen, Call for an Uprising, No Bullshit, PragerU. Of course, PragerU is on there computing forever. What Do You Mean? Ashton Birdie, Gene Kim, Girl Defined, Paulin Morgan, Lori Alexander, fucking Onision. If he ends up doing any dumb stuff. If there's anybody I'd like to take down even more, just knock down even more pegs, it's the guy that makes atheists look like absolute dickbags. And Onision does that in spades. Classically Abby, Steven Crowder, Blair White. Y'all know these guys. Y'all know these people. I want to cover more of their stuff. Because, classically Abby, conservatism and religiosity intersect. Call for an Uprising, conservatism and religiosity intersect. No Bullshit, I honestly believe, hides behind religiosity as a shield to pander to conservative Christians. Same with Lauren Chen. Spencer Smith, Greg Locke, these are people that weaponize their religiosity in order to harm people. Caitlin Bennett, another person who uses it as a shield and a lance. PragerU, the people who tout Judeo-Christian values in order to push conservatism on people and misinformation. Gene Kim, using this stuff as a weapon against people. I'm going to cover these people. I'm going to cover more stuff from them. If you guys have anything from them that you've seen that you want me to cover, let me know. Because I'm tired of just covering politics, and I want there to be an opening where I can cover more. Hopefully, things will start to calm down so I can. If you haven't hit the like button already, though, go ahead and do so. If you haven't subscribed already, now's a great time to. If you like what I do and you want to check out my Patreon and support me there, That is the best way to support me. But if you're watching on stream and you want to just do a one-time donation, then go ahead and wait for me to hop on stream and drop me something on Streamlabs. Drop me a super chat, anything like that. All that's awesome to do. All that helps. But let me know what you want me to cover. I got some great suggestions on the video that I released at the beginning of 2021, and now I've got some specific stuff that I want to cover, some specific people. Send me stuff from them, and we will go on with that. Drop it in the comment section, drop it in Discord, wherever you want to. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next actual topical video. Isn't No Bullshit's channel dying? Yes, but he still has a very dedicated fan base. Don't remember me ever covering Blair White. So Blair White, I don't believe I've covered specifically, though I've talked about her on stream, but never like dedicated video-wise, at least not to my recollection. I'd like to do the... Actually, I should probably do the Slavery is Good video when... Slavery is Good video from PragerU. Asmodeus with the $10 super chat. Wanted to send this through PayPal, but it's closed. Have some money to help with repairs. Thank you very much, Asmodeus. That is incredibly helpful. And Zonolik says... Kind of want to just donate, but I suppose the random question anyway. Any thoughts on hitting up Jimmy and getting on the line? Be good for reach. I've been on the line a couple times already, and I would not mind being on it again. I'd like to make more content with other content creators. I'm trying to get enough time to where I can make some stuff with Zod. But that all said, I do want to go ahead and close out stream here in a bit. I know that we did not stream for 2 or 3 hours like we normally do. I do have a bunch of stuff today where home repairs are concerned. But I do want to thank you all for coming out. We've had 212 of you out here. A lot of viewers today, double what I normally get. So I want to thank you all for coming out and watching. It means the world to me. It means the world to me that all of you are so wonderful. No. Q or special. Q or special. No. So, I am going to be hopping out, and I will see you all, hopefully, in a stream tomorrow. Let me know what you think of everything in the comment section below. Let me know what stuff you want to cover. If you haven't liked already, please do so. I've said it multiple times. I'll say it again. Thank you all for watching out, though. VTuber Cirrus and ContraPoints collaboration when. If you guys want to poke ContraPoints and see if you can get me a collaboration with Natalie, that would be amazing. Even if it's just like a conversation. I would not mind. And I'm trying to do streams more often. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the streaming more often lately. Alright. That said, thank you all for watching. Let's go ahead let's go ahead and get that end stream music.